Welcome to the Inmate Restraint Training for Maryland Correctional Officers. Before the 9/11 attack, the American inmate population were classified as high-risk inmates. However, today prisons hold many high-valued inmates, which include terrorists, trained internationally and nationally, and gang members. These inmates are considered a significant threat to the public and to correction officers. The proper use of prisoner restraints can mean the difference between injury, life, or death for a corrections officer and the public at large. With today's high-risk prisoner population, more proactive training procedures must be provided to ensure that inmates are properly restrained and corrections officers and the public are protected. During this training, I will explain the role of various prisoner restraints and how to apply the restraints in the right way to avoid injury to the prisoner, the corrections officer, and the general public. Upon completion of this training, you should be able to explain how to apply handcuffs without error, apply black boxes without error, apply a waist chain without error, apply a leg iron without error, and apply a flex cup without error. The job of a corrections officer is stressful and dangerous. One way to lessen the danger is to gain control of the inmate. That is done by restraining them when necessary, knowing which restraints to use in which situation, and more importantly, knowing how to properly apply these restraints can mean the difference between life and death. Typically, prisoners are restrained using handcuffs, black box, waist chain, leg irons, and flex cuffs. Handcuffs are used to restrain inmate hands. When applying handcuffs, you have to make sure the keyholes face the inmate's arms. They have to look away from their fingers so that in the unlikely event he has a key, he has a hard time unlocking the handcuffs. You must also double lock the cuffs to keep them from getting tighter later. One trick is to put your finger between the inmate's body and the handcuffs, and if it fits, then that means it is not too tight. The black box is used to cover the holes on the cuffs so that the handcuffs can't be picked by the inmate. Before you apply a black box, you must order the inmate to hold his stronger hand over his weakest hand. Since 90% of the population is right-handed, the rule is right over left. The role of the black box is to cover the keyholes of the cuffs while providing a connection point for the waist chain. The waist chain is used to limit hands and arm movement. The waist chain serves to reduce the movement of hands and arms much further. The head of the waist chain goes into the slot on the black box, and the chain goes around the waist of the inmate. Once done, the end is hooked to one of the links for comfort. Lock the chain with the padlock. Make sure it is not positioned in the lower back area, because when they sit back, it is going to hurt. You should make sure that it is on the side, but not on the lower back, which might cause injury to the inmate. Leg iron. The leg iron restraints are for the legs. When applying leg irons, make sure the keyholes face the inmate's ankles. One trick is to put your finger between the inmate's body and the leg irons, and if it fits, then that means it is not too tight. The leg irons need to be double locked so that the leg iron does not get tighter later, because as the inmate moves, if you have not double locked the leg irons might get tighter when the inmate is walking. This is especially important when transporting an inmate. The inmate might start complaining while you are driving, and you may have to stop the transport to adjust the leg iron, which opens you up to a dangerous situation or a potential escape attempt. You have to put the leg irons on when they are standing, not when the inmate is sitting. When they are sitting, the Achilles tendon is not activated and bulging out, which means the size will be smaller when they start walking, and it will be uncomfortable. It is best to have them standing on both feet or one at a time, depending on the environment you are in when you are fitting the leg irons. Flex cuffs. Flex cuffs are used during medical procedures when metal leg irons might interfere with the medical procedure, such as during an X-ray or especially during an MRI. Flex cuffs are made of sturdy plastic and must be cut away when finished using. You must make sure you have something to cut the flex cuffs off before putting them on. It must be able to cut through tough plastic. You do not remove the leg irons until you have put on the flex cuffs and vice versa. You must put the leg irons on before you cut off the flex cuffs.